This is the reason why the people feel currently as if this government is self-serving. I've had this list in my camera roll for 3 days, and because I'm not going for the protest, I decided, let me go through the list. I go through it comprehensively. I find the MPs who are the owners or who are affiliated with these businesses and the constituencies which they represent, because the people who they represent need to know, this money that we're giving them, we're going to support their businesses. They don't want to support us. They don't want to support our financial needs, even though we're giving money to their businesses. In the middle of making my list, I found this company called Amaco Insurance. It's an insurance company. And then I found this article. It's a very interesting article. And as you can see, these 3 companies listed, which are also on the boycott list, are linked to our honorable president. They are linked to him either through his friends, through the First Lady, or his daughter, Charlene Ruto. And I'll tell you why I want to talk about these companies. Western Hotel, you can see the shareholders. Now let's pay attention to the last part, to the very last part. Government contracts bagged. Higher. Bags millions every year from conference facilities and accommodations paid for by government institutions. Amaco Insurance, that led me to this whole article. Bags millions every year from tenders to offer insurance cover for several counties and government institutions. The last one, Martini Limited, millions bagged from leasing of at least 170 apartments to police services. I'm not refuting the fact that the government probably needs these services, but the problem is that money is coming out of my pocket. The money is coming out of your pocket. So I have the right to question where the money is going. It's coming out of my pocket, it's coming out of your pocket, to go and pay people who are closely affiliated to the government, which makes it a bit easier for them to get a hold of these tenders. As the taxes go high, we have not seen any progress. The taxes did not start going high this year. They started last year. We have not seen any progress.
$1, 1 CD. In the time of Mills and Mahama, 2 CDs, $1. If I was them, I would say to the people of Ghana, I'm sorry. We are sorry for the poor work we have done. We're going to go and think about ourselves. But that is not the people we're dealing with. The fruits of office, the money under the table has become sweet for them, so they're determined to stay. Are we going to allow that to happen? Are we going to allow that to happen? In Kufuor's time, one of the people who advised and helped him develop a strong CD was my running mate, Muhammadu Bawumia. Then he was deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana. It's one of the reasons I brought him to come and join me, that we will work on the CD and create again a strong CD that will be able to allow us to develop our economy and allow our traders and our to be able to develop. We have told the world that under our leadership, we're going to turn our back.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob, but you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you, because we choose them, we vote them, we blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief, is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our job, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame. What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our job, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. Inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
All right, so it's the first day of July 2024, and I'm sure most of you are excited about the new month. We hope that this month will treat all of us well. You're welcome to the program. It's Good Morning Ghana, and we are into another day where we look at the issues of the country, and I'll start with the headlines of the newspapers, starting with the Daily Graphic, and it says, Free SHS Bill goes to Cabinet. Seek cancellation of BEC for SHS admissions. SHS to be 6 years. Be courageous, firm in face of challenges, or chihini to journalists. Courage, okay. Okay, SNIT Rock City negotiations stall. Director General. Ghanaian Times. Second IMF bailout review meetings, $360 million to hit BOG account today. Maiden Gaming Lottery Awards launched to honor responsible gaming. Sale of SNIT Hotel saga. NPRA calls for suspension of further dealings with Rock City. GCB Bank posts strong financial performance in 2023. Daily Guide. NPP MPs embrace Napo as running mate. IGP leaked tape. COP Mensah, 2 other cited for misconduct. Blair sues Ablakwa for 20 million Ghana cedis. Dampare still in office, police service. GCB Bank posts remarkable 2023 performance. The New Crusading Guide. NPP MPs hail Napo as Baumia's running mate. Plot to attack Ochimang Environmental Protection Brigade uncovered. Kwau Nkwetia Benkumhini warns investors, assures them of conducive environment for business. Cyprus president shares in Boche's Commonwealth vision. Freddie Blay, Kwame Blay, drag Okujeto Ablakwa Media General Johnny Hughes to court. The top right corner, IGP Dan Paris still at post. Ghana Police Service debunked false reports of his removal. The insight. Nyahota Maklo, he warns of Kenya-like protest in Ghana over hardship. Denouncing Israeli atrocities in Gaza, Rafah, how Ghanaians organized the caravan in solidarity with Palestine. No money, no road works. Angry road contractors bare teeth at President Akufo-Addo. Lutheran Church schools promises to churn out first-class world leaders as it outdoors ultra-modern Luther Tower School Complex at Anya. The Herald. Finance Minister and GRA boss snub Akufo-Addo's directive on SML resumes operations despite presidential directive. MPs, media, academia silence with cash. Let me just continue. Peter Amewu running away from Chachu Chikata's grills. Mawena Ajo Dumo laid to rest, continue to rest in peace. NPRA suspension of SNIT hotel sale initial victory. Ablakwa Bevlolate questions disclosure of Jakpa's confidential military reports. The Informer, Baumia Napo Ticket Savvy, CDD, plot to remove IGP, sanction 3 corps, committee tells president. Cement manufacturers defy minister, increase price by 12 cedis. Minister Wars Energy Experts urges them to invest in Ghana towards reducing accidents in election years, embrace road safety code, political parties urged. And the top right corner says that in this issue, Ghana's economy received $360 million boost as IMF board approves second review. The Inquisitor, ugly, reckless, and shameful. Ghana has no say at RMU. Also, Majority Caucus backs NAPO as DMB's partner. Remarkable 2023 performance. GCB Banks lays foundation for sustainable future. Opong Fosu charges youth to lead Ghana's rescue mission. I hope you're not calling for Kenya. We Toffee becoming popular among SHS students in Upper East region. Now, the Daily Statesman. Cyprus president supports Ayakoboche's Commonwealth vision. Ochimang Brigade uncovers land guard plot. Majority MPs endorse NAPO as Baumia's running mate. Over 103 million Ghana cedis allocated for LEAP beneficiaries. NHRA fulfills payment promise for dialysis patients. The Ghanaian publisher, SNIT hotel sales will continue to engage. Director General, IGP not removed, police. Plot to attack Ochimang Environmental Brigade uncovered. MPs applaud Information Minister over presentation of RTI reports. Congratulations, Fatima to Abubakar. I think this is your first presentation when you became minister. LEAP beneficiaries to share 103 million Ghana cedis. The New Finder. GCB Bank lays the foundation for a sustainable future. Council of State condoles with family of late La Bianca CEO. BOG to receive $360 million today to bring total IMF disbursement to $156 billion. Police service refutes claims of IGP's removal. Minister outlines key challenges facing RTI implementation. Then Daily Post. She was a consummate professional. Mahama on Mawena Treba as she is laid to rest. A sane person won't praise Baumia's destructive policies. Franklin Kujo of Imani. Top right corner, our focus will be low. Our focus will be low-cost housing for Ghanaians. Mahama. Our focus will be low-cost housing for Ghanaians. Mahama. Okay. Economy Times says that some commercial banks are raising their forex accounts charges, but others retain the old charges demanded from their forex account holders. Cement price regulations, trade minister and manufacturers standoff deepens. Petroleum hub development in limbo as host community makes demands before project starts. And that's all we have for you for the headlines of the newspapers. Let's take a break. We'll be back shortly.
It's another day to stay on point. Toast is spread, it's still on point. Watch is spread it all day long. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Watch is spread, it's still on point. For your bread, it's creamy. For your toast, it's still on point. It's yummy, delicious. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. For your toast, it's still on point. It's still on point. Fortune spread, it's yummy, delicious. It's still on point.
Fortune spread, delicious, creamy, and always on point. This advert is FDA approved.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fat missy way.
The patch of Bantama.
Matias.
It's her smile.
The fresh breath.
Me, Jidi said we use Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind.
Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim jom kasan. Kile hosen. Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
And you will see so feeling kika when you know Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Customer, I don't know who was say.
Malaria been actually me, man. No more drama, still.
One of them give us.
Give us a solid.
Yeah. Sorry. What rest of so give us here and turn down.
What's a good answer? But tomato give us the and turn down.
Give us about me, sir.
Maybe I try the and turn down.
Customer. Give us a turn down.
Onuya kayo oba wa fa furo nom de o ma no banu fo nom akwada wa ni fie dumie no ono nso nom.
Bet Blast Boom! Exclusively on Betway. Win up to 300% more when you play FlyX with Win Boost from Betway. Betway, get way more. Are you looking to own a prime piece of litigation-free land where you can put up your dream family home or your ideal getaway retreat within a luxurious estate? Then look no further. Welcome to Rehoboth Hills, where your dream of hassle-free land ownership comes to life. Acquire land devoid of multiple purchases, litigation, and land guard issues in a safe and secure gated community while enjoying the fabulous night view of Accra from the serene Ebri Mountains. Rehoboth Hills offers spacious plots that provide you with the ideal setting for your dream home and a valuable, safe investment for your future. The lands are located in the prime area of Ayarifa within our residential development Rehoboth Hills, overlooking the city of Accra and the Ebri Mountains. Our prices are very affordable and designed to fit your budget. We offer flexible payment terms, ensuring that you can invest in a valuable asset for the future. Contact us on 0244 764 499 or 0204-950-810 or visit our website at www.rehobothpropertiesgh.com. Rehoboth Properties, quality housing for all.
Welcome to the program. It's Good Morning Ghana, and the 1st of July 2024. Let me do this before I go to the guest. If you are desperate of getting toothpaste that will take care of the whole family, it's Kel 360 toothpaste. That is recommended. It's approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Also, it provides your family with all-round dental protection through the day with freshness. Kel 360 toothpaste is good for the kids, children, and adults. Let your family be proud by using it constantly. Kel 360 toothpaste. It brightens your teeth, prevents cavity, and also it gives you cool mint, which gives you fresh breath throughout the day. Now, Kel 360 toothpaste is another product from Samara Company Limited and producers of Sasso, available in all supermarkets and most provision shops across the country. And contact them on 024 686 4798 or 024 686 4798. Kel 360 toothpaste says happy smile. Also, Lift and Elevators is helping you if you want to enjoy the labor of your hands. Lifts and elevators will help you as you use your mansions. The pains of climbing the stairs, not exercising, could be challenging for all ages. So you worry no more, because Lift and Elevators comes with custom-made modules, and it's affordable and can be installed within 3 days. Also, Lifts and Elevators is a Sakumono. Call them on 0200-535-515 or send them an email to elevators@gmail.com for consultations and best solutions, also in vertical movements. Now, admission, we're talking about school. It is announced for the attention of the general public that the Institute of the Paralegal Training and Leadership Studies, in collaboration with Ghana National Association of ADR Practitioners and ADR International Register, an ISO certified body, is offering some internationally recognized industry-driven conflict resolution and other specialized courses as follows: Professional Executive Masters in Alternative Dispute Resolution, Professional Executive Masters in General Paralegal Studies, Professional Executive Master in Chieftaincy, Law and Sustainable Development Practice, and also Professional Executive Masters Industrial and Labor Relations and Practice, Professional Executive Master in Family Law and Conflict Resolution. We have an exceptional team of facilitators who are very well versed in their subject areas and are ready to equip participants with the skills they need to influence the industry in the right direction. So individuals in ADR by us qualify for admission into the prestigious membership of the Ghana National Association of ADR Practitioners. For admission, call them on 0203 960 798 or WhatsApp them on 0509 634027 or email to ipls.edu.gh@gmail.com, right? Okay, so let me now introduce a guest to you. Louisa Kwache is a member of the NDC Communications team. She's joined us here in the studio. Louisa, you're welcome. Good morning to you. How are you? Happy month. Yes. Also, Lara Temusa Saka is the Deputy Executive Secretary for the Postal Courier Services Regulatory Commission, PCSRC, and also a member of the NPP Communications team. You're welcome. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Annie.
Why you don't like your post?
I don't like what?
Your post.
What post?
Your office. Because every time I mention it, you look at me in a certain way, like.
Because I don't necessarily come here in that capacity.
No, but I'll put it out so that if anybody has issues with postal and courier services, when you're on the platform, they can throw in their questions.
Because it's quite a critical area.
Very, very critical.
I mean, with some of the issues that you mentioned, one of the headlines I heard, wheat toffee becoming an issue in our secondary schools.
Is that part of your services?
No, I'm building a point on that.
Hey,
so
you see, that
no, it's not part of us. So that's narcotics control.
Okay.
That's for narcotics control. But because of what we do, we work with most of these sister agencies. So we collaborate with narcotics control. But then one of the reasons they actually approached us, and one of the reasons why they did is because the courier delivery services are now the transit points for these for the transmission of these narcotics in small quantities.
In small quantities?
Yes, because the person sends a parcel from Accra to Kumasi, from Accra to Tamale, from Accra to Wa. You don't do much of due date. It's just a normal parcel. But it gets to the school and the havoc it works. That's why we keep insisting that when you are procuring the services or engaging a delivery person, be sure that the person is registered with the commission, so we can curb some of these things. Because even now we engage in the Food and Drugs Authority. Most of the deliveries being done in this country now are food deliveries, So it's quite crucial that we all help in making sure that the right people certified are the ones doing this.
Do you have information if the deliveries have been packaging these toffees to the schools? Have you done any information?
It's not the deliveries packaging. There are different forms of doing this. The delivery bit is the last mile.
Yeah.
That's when the item gets to the doorstep of the consumer. But there are some companies that do delivery as added service to their main thing. So if the person is the one selling, and as delivery to their thing. It's not necessarily so they will package it. But if the person selling or dealing in that procures the services of a third party to do the last mile, then that. So it's a whole thing. But the basic thing is to make sure that, because once the person is certified with us, is working within, recently they've put themselves together, licensed the courier operators. So they'll also be checking each other, you know. And the thing is, most of the international companies comply with these regulations because of the way they operate. But it's the domestic operators, and they are the ones dealing with
So the story
them.
actually said that the Wheat Toffee story, it said Executive Director of Life Out Alcohol and Drugs, Ghana, in the Upper East region, Roger Atambiri Abba, has raised an alarm over the increasing consumption of wheat toffees among senior high school students. Now, this substance, a local concoction of marijuana, condensed milk and sugar, wow, that would taste nice, has reportedly...
Really?
Come on, we don't. Haven't you taken condensed milk before?
I'm lactose intolerant.
Oh, sorry. I am too, but I still take it. So the substance, it says that marijuana, condensed milk, and sugar has reportedly become a popular snack among learners, raising significant concerns about its impact on their health and academic performance. Now, Mr. Tambire described the situation as alarming and widespread. Now, if you visit the various SHSs, it is bad, quote. The wheat toffee is common among the students. Where they get them, one can't tell. But these learners are consuming these substances like there is no tomorrow. And I think authorities ought to strengthen efforts that can curtail this growing behavior among learners, he stated. Speaking on A1 radio during the segment aimed at raising awareness of World Drug Day, Mr. Tambire made an urgent appeal to the school authorities and relevant stakeholders to implement concrete measures to address the issue. He emphasized the need for increased vigilance and proactive interventions to either eradicate or significantly reduce the production and consumption of these substances in and around school premises. That's what the story says. But I don't know.
What I'm saying is,
I don't know if this is strange.
What's strange?
Or it's because we're celebrating some World Drug Day.
No, a lot goes on. I mean, narcotics control, does education and all that. No, for a long time, the concentration was on the borders. What is going in and what is coming in. But now, it's like the circulation of it within the country is also an issue. So we collaborate with them when we're having our stakeholder engagement, when they are having their trainings. We collaborate as inter-agency collaboration. But what I was drawing your attention to was the key role delivery or courier services is playing in that aspect of it. It's now easy to transport these things without raising eyebrows. So we need to all be vigilant in this regard of it. What comes in, especially through delivery, you can be sure that something coming from Ghana Post because of the systems and the advancement. I mean, they are the national postal provider.
I think where it will affect your work mostly will be the larger quantities delivery. Not the ones that the students are using. After the ones the students are using, they come in smaller quantities. In my secondary school days, they were using it for smaller
quantities. How?
Oh, like in toffees?
Yes, in toffees. How they moved around.
But even in toffees, the students can
Someone takes it.
No, they can prepare it in school.
Someone sends it. What I'm saying is that the delivery, the ease of delivery now makes it easier to now distribute them compared to years before now. Now, you sit in your home, you can order anything and get it to your doorstep.
So how will you know if a courier service is sending weed across or is
how would you know?
weed?
You know, so that when the person brings it to you, if the person is not the one doing it, the person brings it to you. Once you have the training of identifying some of these things and trying to pick up some of these things, even sometimes the demeanor of the person bringing the parcel is suspicious. So narcotics control takes people through some of those trainings. For bigger institutions, you find their presence in there. That's why you find them at the airport, you find them at Ghana Post, you find them at the bigger, well-established courier companies. But for the basic ones, the one biker, the small delivery company, is
So
not, the
in this
capacity
case, how
is
will
still
you have-
not built enough. So we all just need to be vigilant of what is coming into our school and what is going out
that's
of
where
the
I was
school.
coming to. So I was asking,
Yes.
should-
Gone are the
should
days
a
that it
courier-
was just letters
Yeah.
coming in and letters going out. I got to now food goes in,
So
lots of
if
things
courier,
go in.
sorry, some bikers or deliveries goes into schools to give items to students, is it up to the heads of the schools to check the content of what they're delivering? Because definitely parents will not be sending weed to their children in school. So if their
But it's not
children
only
will have
parents
to,
who send things to their children.
Yes, so that's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying, that if
but
it's
it's
not
sort
your
of-
parent that's coming to visit you
Yeah.
and someone else, maybe school authorities must check contents that are being delivered to you. But trust me,
All I'm saying,
this
no,
weed
you
that
can
the
you
children
can
take to school-
minimize it. You can't necessarily. I mean, people find new ways of doing a lot of things. I mean, we all thought that going digital, doing all those things, going digital will save all of us from all the little thefts and those things, keeping our money in our house and all that. But now there's cyber security because there's cyber crime. So people find it's all geared to minimizing the impact of some of these things. We all just need to be vigilant. It's not up to only the state institutions mandated to do that. We as citizens and consumers of these services also. And one of the first steps is to make sure that the person dealing in that particular venture is certified properly to do it.
Okay. Do you want to say something to it? Oh, okay.
And I feel that for a long while, some years now, we've actually normalized certain things in our upbringing, the way we train our wards. Because I remember back in secondary school, before you get a parcel at the security gate, they write down who the sender is and who the receiver is. So it gets to your house, and sometimes if the packaging looks suspicious, your house mistress is allowed or has that authority to go through whatever you have received. And once a while, we get kit inspection. In the night, you hear the house mistress coming around to check. And then when it happens that you have any unprescribed item, the school laws punish you as such. That notwithstanding, for some time now, since we started to put a lot of modernization into our education system, teachers have limited role in punishing and then actually taking charge of the upbringing of the wards that are entrusted in their care, I think is also affecting our wards wrongly. So, for instance, you go to a school and the kid is not allowed to even take any lashes from a teacher. The person has to go through the headmaster or headmistress, right, for reasons why you would want to. And before you go to the headmaster or headmistress's office and come back, how many minutes do you take to consume condensed coffee? I bought one in traffic around Spencer's days ago. I think the container was 10 cedis. Before I could get to Palace more roundabout because there was traffic, it was done. So I believe that we should pay critical attention to how our wards are trained, especially in our boarding houses. Because see, that is where our adults are forming. They get to interact with people from diverse cultures, people coming with all sorts of attitudes. So I believe that
there seem to be a lot of things are like popping up in my head. There seem to be different school of thoughts when it comes to weed. I mean, I was talking to you earlier about how.
Necessarily bad.
That's what I'm saying. That
Yes.
there are a lot of,
It's the abuse of
Recently,
it.
we passed a bill that will allow us use weed for industrial purposes in this country. But that's for industrial purposes. Industrial purposes are not meant for smoking. But there's also the how do I call it? The THC formula that is appropriate. In fact, the ones that prescribes what you can take it as a human being. There are people who believe that it's good. It's the abuse of it that leads us into certain areas.
And let's check the age bracket.
Yes, and sometimes we're told that, especially the youth, when they utilize it and then it gets to a point where it doesn't do, the system becomes immune to it, they now begin to mix it with other drugs, which, of course, I can't mention on the platform. So that becomes a problem. So you would think that, you see that a child or a youth is suffering from drug abuse, you say, or she we.
No, but
a lot of things.
A lot of them.
And even paracetamol, if you overuse
drugs,
it, at a point it's not effective as a painkiller for you.
Yeah.
It's the abuse of anything medicinal or anything. I mean, there's the saying of too much of everything is bad. It's the regulation of it that is it. It's a hair. I mean, there are hair products that weed is used to make. There are lots of things that is used to make. It's the abuse of it, and there are certain medications that, depending on your age,
I'm so sure
12 years and below, you can't take them. Anybody 12 years above, even the dosage is different based on age. So it's the abuse of it. It's a category of people using it, and the forms that they are using it. But we can't overemphasize education and vigilance on our part.
You remember when this young boy, Maguire,
yeah, that Chimota
controversy, weed was part of the argument.
Is it Maguire?
Maguire.
I believe for that, I think it was a prejudice.
Is it Maguire? Hey, did I say Maguire?
Maguire.
It's Maguire.
Maguire. Okay, Maguire. Okay, I was thinking for the footballer Maguire. Okay.
I think for his case, it was a case of stereotyping because of the kind of hair he was wearing.
You know the reason I cited that? It was even an argument on the floor of Parliament, where parliamentarians were even arguing that Rastafarians smoke weed. And if they smoke weed, then it means that this child will go to school and affect his mates to also engage in weed smoking. And it was not proven
that the guy was smoking weed.
Of course it was.
And he has excellent results and did exploit in the school. So I believe that no matter which school of thought anybody belongs to, whether the substance is good or not, what we are saying is that I think what should be of concern to everybody is the age range that they are consuming.
Allowed to consume.
Because these people in secondary schools are from the ages of 14 to probably 18 or 19. So if somebody starts using these drugs, and per whatever we've discussed earlier, that with time they get immune to it and they would have to increase the dosage, so they seek to add other things to it.
But why are we pretending in this country? I think we're pretending. When it comes to cigarettes, what is the benefits of cigarettes?
And when you buy it, it's actually written on the pack that it's harmful to your health.
Make a choice.
And I'm wondering how come we allow it into the country. But when you find weed
in an adult, not even a youth, in an adult's car, a policeman will arrest a person. That's because we haven't legalized the smoking of weed. But why are we being hypocritical?
No. Cigarettes is sold on
our streets. Do you call it hypocritical?
Yes.
What is used to make cigarettes?
I don't know. I haven't even, tobacco, but...
Exactly. It's processed.
Yes, but
with certain standards.
Yes, but the end product...
So the weed you find in the car, is it processed?
The end product is...
It's harmful to your health. They've actually told you on the pack.
You buy it, they've written it on the pack.
Yes, and they still smoke it.
Weed
is a matter of choice.
Goes through a lot of processes. People use it for tea, which is beneficial medically.
Which people?
Oh, I know a lot of people who drink weed.
But tea. You don't drink it?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how to.
Okay.
I'm just looking at it from a
wider perspective,
or maybe educative or informative perspective.
No, I just think that
because if there's something that has health benefits and we are not exploring the health benefits of it and prescribe which ways and means to use them, and yet we are glad to import the deadly ones and allow people to buy and smoke. What are we?
You know, I know a smoker who has there was this picture of what smoking does to your health, your lungs, your other vital organs.
Most pubs have that artwork.
Exactly, that artwork right in front of the person's bedroom. But they'll still pass it and smoke. Some of these things, people make choices, people develop behaviors and all that. But if you compare it to just finding raw weed with someone, then I think we are missing the point, because it's a processed form of, it's just like alcohol. It's just like alcohol. I don't think the individual components of alcohol can just be carried around by individuals. But when you see them holding a bottle of it, obviously it's gone through some processes, some standardization. I don't think anybody can bring in alcohol or any alcoholic beverage in this country or produce any in this country without recourse to Food and Drugs Authority or the Standards Authority, depending on whatever they bring in. So is the regulation...
In some other countries that they allow them to smoke weed, they have prescribed the types you can smoke.
So there's standardization.
Do we really know the types that we cultivate in our country?
Yes, with the scientific formation of it, it's made for smoking. That's why those people, when they leave those countries, which I don't want to mention, and they come to Ghana or maybe they go to Jamaica
Ghana
and find
produces
the other
the
ones.
Best. Ghana produces the best.
You hear them telling you,
Ghana produces the best of it. So
I
mean, this is a conversation. This is a conversation. I mean, you remember, was it Ghana Export Promotion that was trying to start a conversation on the legalization of weed? I don't remember.
For economic benefit.
For economic benefit. You saw the April.
Yeah.
The resistance.
No, because people didn't understand.
No, but that was just a conversation that was going to...
I know, at least from what I have read, I know that some of the things that Africans we have that is beneficial, we were brainwashed. And we are, generation after generation, we have come to believe that, oh, this is so bad.
It's our effects of colonization.
Exactly. Because we haven't regularized them, we haven't standardized them, and our... should I say the industrialization sector is not up to what it has to be. It's difficult. So we end up misusing some of these things, which becomes a problem. So now nobody is looking at the economic benefit of it. Everybody is looking at the impact it's making, the negative impact it's making on, especially the youth. And so there'll be a resistance.
That's because you have, as a country, decided not to look into it.
We are pretending it doesn't exist.
That is why I'm
but
saying
at the end of the day, every time people are cultivating.
Yes.
Where do we get the weed in this country? People are cultivating.
Yeah.
So if people are cultivating and we actually have boards in place, FDA and other entities, I believe it's about time we come together, have a strategic conversation.
Thank you.
How we are going to curb it and how we are going to benefit economically from it.
You know, it gets to a point where as we grow, you cannot act like you are in an island or you are on an island. You have to look into what is the changing times, what's accounting to the changing times.
But even a conversation on it was resisted.
It's like the LGBT matter. You're pretending like it's not in this country. You don't know what's happening. Yeah, I mean, it's everywhere. At least every home has one.
Everything that has a name.
But parents don't even know.
Everything that has a name.
Yes.
Exists.
No, but the proportions of it, you don't know how serious it is until you conduct a research and you see the level at which you are. And you know.
So in that context, is the proportions of the abuse of these substances.
So I'm saying
that's making it difficult to have a conversation on it.
You expose your youth to be smoking the type they don't have to be smoking because you
and
have
we don't
not
even know
spent
the
time
kind
to
of
educate.
substances they are smoking.
Let's spend time and invest in the industry and do our scientific research.
Your friends are really
and
educated you.
Well, yes, and let the government educate the people on if you want to smoke, this is what you have to smoke. If you want to drink tea, this is what you want to drink. These are the negative effects, these are the positive effects. Let's not stop importing cigarettes and things like that. And if there are health benefits of them, let's know what the health benefits are. If we don't want children to be engaged in, let's put in strict measures in the schools. Because when we're in school, our mates were taking wishito. And you find someone misbehaving and you ask around, they will tell you, he took wishito.
Surprisingly, we have creative ways of bringing a new product every time.
Yes.
I don't know if names are allowed. Before you know it, there's something they called lacquer. Before you know it, there's something mixed with pito, whatever. Before you know it, we have toffee now. Before you know it, there's sobolo mixed with it. So it seems that we have that creativity to always come up with a new something to consume it, no matter how the resistance is. So I believe it's about time we have that conversation as a nation. Pretending the problem doesn't exist does not solve or help anybody.
We've paid attention a lot to the external use of these things. So there are hair products on the market that has a quantity of it in other external things that you don't use internally. It's the consumption of it that we still have an issue with. I mean, once it's being cultivated, it's being used. And the alternative uses, should I say illegal or unacceptable alternative uses or abuse of it, that's a challenge. But we are all ready to have a conversation with it. It's like, it's become a taboo. It's become like a conversation that we can't have. We are all ready to have that conversation and go through the proper regulation and standardization regimes. Why not? You can imagine the uproar, especially from religious institutions, if a proper education is not done, that a party comes up and says, as part of my manifesto policies, I'm going to legalize the consumption of weed. Even before the education starts, you can imagine the uproar. But if we all come to the realization that this is something that is...
But the religious bodies were there when people were smoking cigarettes.
Come again, do I?
Were they not there and seeing people smoking cigarettes all the time?
It's not, yeah, but it's the engagement of it, the openness to some of these things. That's not, because it's like we try to, most of the time, pretend this cannot reach us. But we've gotten to a point where your child doesn't, you know how your child doesn't necessarily need to go out to learn anything now. Once they have an access to a smart device and internet, they can learn anything. For me, some of the things that my kids talk about sometimes, but the good thing is that they are open enough to come and tell. And some of the questions they ask you makes you realize that. So you even have to be careful the kind of arguments you have with them. If a child asks, you tell a child that you're not supposed to be sleeping in school because it's school for learning, you just leave it at that. They ask you, so is the home a place to learn? Because you're supposed to be sleeping in your house. That's the kind of thinking that they have now. Yesterday I told my daughter I was going for a campaign event for Auntie Akusia. I was wearing white sneakers. I came back. What the first question she asked me? Why are sneakers so neat?
Because you went for campaign.
Because I went for campaign.
You're supposed to come
You're
back.
supposed to come back. You get it. But then I have to explain to her that it was an indoor event. We just went for a launch of their campaign team. This is the thinking of children of today. Right. So if we still want to go with the old mode of, oh, you don't talk about this, it's not something that we'll have some of these problems.
Well, let's be very open about these things, because to me, the wheat toffee is nothing new. I don't think it's new. Maybe.
What gets me scared is the new ways we always try to the creativity around the whole issue. So before government will take any steps, I believe stakeholder engagement.
Ski.
Religious bodies, traditional heads, families, opinion leaders, everybody should be brought on board so that we see how best we can rescue this country. Because it feels as if the more we pretend, the more they find ways to get access to it. So as a nation that would have a future for our youth, I believe that controlling the way they use these drugs and narcotics is the way to go. The pretense is really not helping anybody.
All right, so let's just take a quick break. We've actually, with some other issues, we'll go to Kenya. We will also analyze the fights of corruption, the SNIT situation. I think most of the players are saying that they want to continue renegotiation, or they want to restart a renegotiation and see how it goes. It looks like Hotel Nideye Beton. We're back shortly.
It's another day to stay on point. Toast is Friday, it's still on point. Fortune's Friday all day long. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Fortune's Friday, it's still on point. For your bread,
it's creamy.
For your toast, it's still on point. It's yummy, delicious. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. Still on point, yes, it's still on point. It's still on point. For your toast, it's still on point. It's still on point. Fortune spread, it's yummy, delicious. It's still on point.
Fortune spread, delicious, creamy, and always on point. This advert is FDA approved.
Bet, blast, boom! Exclusively on Betway. Win up to 300% more when you play Fly X with Win Boost from Betway. Betway, get way more.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
Hey, Walambo! Hey!
I asked him to buy me original Polita.
Hey, please don't make mistake. Talk to Papa. Open the come on. And ye Polita no gala. Ya to day. Hey, Papa.
Papa, can ruffle.
The Polita is original, the first and the best.
What is? Ukota also for dear acrobat using it.
Polita, yes.
Papa is working.
Bar Herbal Hospital. Specialists in every kind of bone disease.
Bar Herbal Hospital. Hey, baby, a son of a whip beer. And so, Yari, me sapa, a dump yari.
Spinal cord, swelling of the arms, arthritis, bone injury, swelling of the leg with reddish color around it, and so on. See, Bar Herbal Hospital has special ultra-modern machine for checking up the body. I have tried them and I got good results. Try Bar Herbal Hospital.
All right, you're welcome back to the program. I'm still in the studio with Louisa Kwachi, NDC Communications team member, who is saying that she's shocked about the we thing. She's never heard it. Even her secondary school days, she did. I mean, it's shocking. Agri Memorial. Well, my cousin attended Agri Memorial.
And she doesn't. They love dancing, so it's Suje. You give them jams, they're okay. But weed.
She doesn't have friends like yours.
No.
No. She's amazed at the kind of friends you have.
Then her experience is very little. Lara is also still here with me, but let me remind you that Betway Cash Out is available since Ayesoko. Betway is giving you more control in every thrilling bet you place. So enjoy the biggest and most reliable cash out in Ghana today. That's Betway. So sign up today on betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. It's also regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana, not for persons under 18, just like weed. So Betway gets way more. Blue Jeans energy drink is also available. It's been there for 20 years, and you already know that it gives you some nutrients, including vitamins B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans energy drink has been tested and tried and is indeed best for you. Blue Jeans energy drink is bold and active for both and active men and women. So go and grab your can today and power your days. And in all shops nationwide, contact Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 0208 128 190 or 055 001 0000. Right. Well, so over the weekend there was a meeting of SNIT and journalists actually, and the SNIT executive spoke with the journalists. They said a lot of things, and also it's been captured how Okudzeto Ablakwa has been sued and is still in relation to the SNIT. So the Ghanaian publisher says that SNIT Hotel Sales will continue to engage. Director General is the one talking, and it says that, where does it start reading? So, okay. The way it starts is quite funny, but let me read. He said while going by the directive of the National Pension Regulatory Authority, NPRA, to suspend the sale, the trust will continue to engage stakeholders, quote, to let them know we did the right thing in good faith. We want better results and done things transparently. So, according to the Director General, things were done transparently. Ms. Osafomafo said this over the weekend at the media encounter at the Bri in Eastern Region. So it was on the theme sustaining the SNIT pension scheme, investment and its impact on benefits payment. He said that the decision to sell the shares was largely commercial with the aim of maximizing the benefits. Quote, our aims are not different from the unions. Is that true? We both want best value. We want to maximize our benefits. Osafomafo said the rationale for the investment decision included consistent losses, frequent requests for maintenance funding, high capital expenditure, and the need for strategic partnership. So listen to this again. Ms. Osafomafo said the rationale for the investment decision included consistent losses, frequent requests for maintenance funding, high capital expenditure, and the need for strategic partnership. The hotels are La Palm Royal Beach, Elmina Beach, Busia Beach, Ridge Royal, Trust Lodge, and Abadi Beach. The Director General said as part from raising capital and finding experts to manage the hotels, the ultimate goal was to manage investment risk, to improve investment Mr. Osafomafo said pension funds were not static, and that at some point losses needed to be cut for gains to be made. Quote, it is a portfolio it is a portfolio. It changes with time, he added. He said Rock City bid for all the 6 hotels was the only bidder for Lost 2 and 3. And Mr. Safomafo said it's submitted the best and strongest technical and financial proposal amongst those received. He said consequently, Rock City started negotiations with SNIT to buy a 60% stake in each of the 4 hotels, Labadi Beach, La Palm Royal Beach, Ridge Royal Beach, and Elmina Beach, but had stalled due to disagreement over payment terms and duration. So the Director General Gates said, given the criteria in the bidding process, bids for Buzia and Trust Lodge were considered unsuccessful. And he described the trust as the best pension scheme in the country because it offered the best value proposition with the benefits exceeding contributions. And the reason why you have to be very much interested in is don't think that maybe you're not retired today, so you are fine. You are not fine. Because if you are paying for your pensions, as they say, right? So you have to be interested. Maybe today, our leaders are the ones that are, our aged are the ones that are suffering from it. But Daily Guide captures, Herald also captures, NPRA suspension of SNIT Hotel sale initial victory, Ablakwa. Let me read that, and then we go on to Daily Guide. Oh, I thought it was in page 2. Okay. So page 4 of the Herald, it says page 4. It says that Samuel Kujita Ablakwa, the Member of Parliament for Northern Constituency, has praised the National Pensions Regulatory Authority, NPRA, Directive to Social Security and National Trust, SNIT. NPRA asked SNIT to suspend all negotiations geared at selling its hotels to Rock City. Okudzeto Ablakwa had raised issues of conflict of interest in the sale of 60% of the shares in the Labadi Beach Hotel, the Palm Royal Beach Hotel, Royal Hotel, Ridge Royal. Ridge Royal is spelled wrongly, so Herald, please check it. It's Ridge Royal, not Red. And Elmina Beach Resort to Brian and Champions Rock City Hotel. So the directives calls for the suspension of ongoing negotiations with Rock City over the sale of the 4 hotels, a move Ablakwa describes as the initial victory for Ghana. Currently, SNIT is considering Rock City Limited as the strategic investor for the sale of the 4 properties, Labadi Beach Hotel, La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, Elmina Beach Resort, and Ridge Royal Hotel. So on Friday, June 28, the NPRA communicated to SNIT in a letter signed by its chief executive, John Kwenin Abro, that, as you may be aware, Section 67, Clause 2 of the National Pensions Act requires us to issue relevant guidelines to guide your investment decisions, and that's what was done. So in furtherance of the requirements, you are hereby directed by the board of the authority to suspend all processes seeking to engage Rock City Hotel as a strategic investor in the matter of the sale of the above hotels. Now, that's for the Herald. Now, the Daily Guide is talking about the suit. So, Blay sues Ablakwa for 20 million Ghana cedis. Now, the chief executive officer of Daily Guide, of Daily Guide newspaper, Kwame Blay, has sued the Member of Parliament for Northern Constituency Ablakwa over the unsubstantiated defamatory statements in both traditional and social media. The suit filed at the registry of the High Court in Accra averts that the statement made on June 7 and 18, 2024 by the MP have caused damage to his reputation, resulting in him losing an investment from his business partners who were ready to invest over $10 million in the plaintiff affordable housing projects. The plaintiff The plaintiff is a businessman who owns multi-million-dollar companies within Ghana and United States, including the Terraform Limited, New Image Technology Transfer Limited, Sustainable Housing Solutions Limited, Cultural Management Group Limited, BBNZ Limited, among others. Wow. Mr. Blay avers that the damages caused to his businesses by the actions of Mr. Blakwa amount to the sum of approximately 20 million Ghana cedis in lost profit by virtue of the revenue that he would have made from all business dealings in and is therefore seeking same as special damages. Defamatory statements. The Nocturne MP on 7th June 2024 took to social media to publish, even though it is difficult not to develop sympathy for the Lloyd Devos Jr. on how he was crudely hounded out of the deal, by the Blay brothers. The organization one has to pity the most is Labadi Beach Hotel. Okay, the organization one has to pity the most is Labadi Beach Hotel. He continued that the court document exposed an epic dogfight between Lloyd and Kwao over fantastic sum of money being proceeds from the business activities of Labadi Hotel's encroached beachfront, and yet Labadi Beach Hotel has absolutely no share in the booty, particularly after the joint venture agreement was contemptuously flouted by all powerful Blay brothers, Wosmao Blay and Kwame Edenkema Blay. So Mr. Blakwa did not end there, but also claim an interview on Accra Bay City FM that the Blay brothers, according to over 800 pages of court documents, decided that they will elbow out their business partner. They will also refuse to pay Labadi Beach Hotel, and some way, somehow, the board of Labadi Beach Hotel discovered that there is construction going on their beachfront. The Blay brothers have created a new pathway to the beach, and they are saying that they have met some people in the traditional council, in the LAT traditional council. The MP who later petitioned the president once again took to his Facebook wall, and you know what he posted there. So that is also the genesis of the suit that has actually been leveled or been served the Member of Parliament for Northern constituency. So the SNIT issue just keeps getting murkier and murkier by the day. Lara too.
Honey.
I know that the president has also spoken to organized labor, and he says that they should go back and engage in renegotiation, and that's where we are today.
When you say the SNIT issue keeps getting murkier and murkier, I beg to differ. I don't see how it's getting murkier and murkier. I think that is the approach of the person who brought it out. I mean, it's not like what was being done was a secret. This is a process that has gone through the various processes, gone through tendering at the various levels of looking for people to participate in it. They've gone through the procurement processes and all that. But it's the bit about how the whole issue, making it look like processes have been breached and all that. Why is SNIT? As I said here, I'm still contributing to SNIT. I believe you are, I believe Louisa is, and a number of people who are yet to get to the compulsory retirement age of 60. So you and I are the ones paying for those enjoying their retirement benefits now technically. What does SNIT want to do with this sale of shares of these hotels? It's not only for them to improve the sales of or the profits of these hotels. It's also to deal with risks of investment and other things. The rates at which, when you look at the financials and the trend of profit making of these hotels? Are they sustainable? Do you need to inject fresh capital to make them sustainable? But when we go outright and say the sale of SNIT, I don't think
so let me tell
the
you
sale
something.
of these hotels, yes.
Something not about SNIT, something about weed.
Honey,
you remember my uncle? You remember my uncle who's your friend?
Yes.
Your friend you don't know?
Yeah.
He's a pastor, you know.
It's good to know.
Actually.
I need to meet him one of these
You know
days.
what he has done surprisingly? He has sent me a video on YouTube. It's by Peter Tosh. You know he's a Rastafarian. And Peter Tosh's song is titled Legalize It. So Lara too. Sorry to distort you. Sorry to distort your flow, but that is Peter Tosh.
Yes,
said,
you are making,
when you finish, go and listen to
you
the
are the
song.
one who says so when someone is talking and is going off.
No,
They say the person
this is important.
Say so or shiwi. Now you've interjected me with a weed conversation. If I go high, you say I'm going emotional, but that's on the
I'll control you.
Side. Look, we need to be very open about these things, and this whole conversation comes back to what we're talking about, the conversation on legalization of food, which is stakeholder engagement. SNIT thought we're doing the right thing but didn't do the level of engagement. I remember when I had the opportunity to make a comment with regards to the new the DG was here, the head of the Director General. When you go on to SNIT's social media handles, they give so much information in addition to how much they get every month. But it's difficult to see what they are using the money for. So there's some information gap between the one making the contribution. Okay, so I've given you 1,000 this month as a contributor. What is my 1,000 doing? They haven't really been able to put those informations out, and that is one of the reasons why we are where we are. But when you listen to them, even when you listen to organized labor, they have reps. How many reps on the board? 4. There was a conversation at the board. There was a board meeting that discussed these things. So it's not like anybody was oblivious of what decision was being taken.
Yeah.
But the moment we move the conversation from what is being done, the essence of what is being done, to personalities, then we have issues. Because if we're going with the entity Rock City, without making it seem as if the agric minister went to commandeer SNIT to sell hotels to him, I don't think we'll be where we are. Organized labor spoke to the president. He engaged them. The issue was referred to the labor ministry to come up with it. SNIT has been explaining, and throughout the explanation of it, I haven't heard, and I stand to be corrected, where they've breached any process of it. Because that the scheme needs to be sustained for you and I 20 years, 15 years, 10 years down the line. We may be in active service now, but most people in this country rely on it. There's been a lot of conversations about how a teacher will work for 35 years, how a teacher will work for 40 years, 20 years, and retires and is just giving some amount of money. I mean, for those who get even the lump sum at the end of it, get something substantial, but how much is it? So if measures are being put in place to raise capital to sustain the scheme, I don't think is a wrong thing to be done. Some aspect of it is also with triage. So I was quite surprised when there was a protest on the streets, because if you've been to the president and the issue has been referred to the labor minister who is responsible for all these labor-related issues to come out with a report.
Will not turn up. Ghanaians.
Okay, go ahead.
With a report, right? Some aspects of it is with triage. The labor is still engaging, SNIT is engaging stakeholders and all that. I think where we've got into, we need to all open our minds, look at what SNIT wants to do. Is what they want to do going to inure to the benefit of the scheme? Because don't also forget that there's a report from ILO, and SNIT is actually the one that commissions that report that says the scheme is not sustainable as it is now. What are the measures we do? And for me, okay, it opens up the conversation. What are the things to be done to make SNIT sustainable? Because some people may have other forms of income, but the majority of public servants, the majority of SNIT contributors, whose only survival, if not from their children or other family members, is SNIT. So whatever can be done to shore up and sustain this, then I think that should be our focus, and the focus for everybody.
As you refer to the ILO reports,
yes,
and Director General also confirms it.
Yes.
And he said, in what I read, which I said you should pay attention to earlier, says that the rationale for the investment decision included consistent losses. The question is, why should there be consistent losses? Frequent request for maintenance funding. Why so? High capital expenditure and the need for strategic partnership. Why the high capital expenditure? What is the proof of this high capital expenditure by SNIT managers and its board or whoever is in charge? Why should we arrive at this point? So if you listen to the arguments of Okudzeto Ablakwa, you cannot but agree with him that we help to run down businesses. And then when we finish, we say, oh, it's not working, so let's sell it. And then when we have to sell it, we sell it to ourselves. People who are in the circle of governance and know the state of some of these state institutions and have the capacity, as in the private capacity, to purchase, they purchase.
Honey,
that's what's happening.
Honey, look, when you go on that tangent, I mean, it's the attitude of all of us, users and managers of public entities. The culture, where you are buying there, they deal with it anyhow. It's something that has been pervasive in our culture. Do we want to have a frank conversation on that? Let's do that. With all due respect to our health workers, because that is one of the key things that affects us in our daily lives. Compare services at a public health facility to services of a private health facility. If you have the choice today to go to a public health facility as against a private health facility, which one will you choose? Let's be very frank about this.
So why do you think managers of institutions behave this way?
Let me build my point. You choose the private sector because the person there has invested their resources and wants to sustain it and reap their benefits. But the interesting thing is, most of these people running the best of services at these private health facilities are the same people at our public services generally. Why is it so? It's the attitude you and I attach to it. Because government entities are not necessarily for profit. That doesn't mean they shouldn't make profit. the attitude. Look, if you want to fire a public servant today, the processes you will go through before. But a private man, in lieu of 3 months of notice, pay you of something, you are gone. So it's not just about, it's the system that we have created. So someone is working in a public service, thinks I can drag myself to work at any time that I like, but will be at a private institution. It's a system we've created. And I don't believe that I'm of the school of thought that when you want to heal something, you just don't put the medication on the top of it. When you have a sore, you clean it up before you put the medicine on it. You just don't put the medicine on it. From what you said, that when you go on the argument of Okujeto Black, that we help run systems down and then come out and say, let's give it to private. It's a system that is not only SNIT.
Yeah, I agree with you, because last week.
So if you go on that, then we need to have a proper conversation in this country
on health. That is also another,
and that's not the only sector.
Area. But
that's
since
this
is what we're discussing,
even institutions.
I'm just
why
asking,
are most of us taking our children to private institutions, private schools? Why are most of us taking our children to private schools? Okay. Look, the ordinary Ghanaian. We've had this conversation before during the district level election. The ordinary Ghanaian who live in a neighborhood. Roads are bad. Something about what's the first thing the person does? They save to buy a bigger car, a 4-wheel drive that will sustain it. It's a conversation we should have on both sides. Leadership is complacent.
Yeah, but you see,
citizens are complacent.
No, but you see, Lara, when you even say that, it's a conversation we should have both sides. Yeah?
Yes, it's a conversation
at
we should
every
have
point
both
in time.
We need to be frank about this. What did you say? We pretend about most of our
now,
problems.
Hold on. At this
Let's
point,
have frank conversations
time,
about some of these
we
things.
have a brilliant opportunity to put the system in check.
Yes.
With regards to SNIT, it has been constant that anytime SNIT is unable to manage some company, or they run it down, they sell. They run it down, they sell. They run it down, they sell. This is an example. Okay. When it came to the president told organized labor that go back to the negotiation table. It means that he's saying that go and negotiate well and sell it, still sell it.
Oh, but saying go back to the negotiation table doesn't necessarily go back and
so why can't he just
if you go back to the negotiation
put a stop to the sale?
If you go back to the negotiation table, Annie, look, if we're going to talk about this conversation about, it's not only SNIT that is either liquidating, diversifying their things, or going into joint
I'm not, hold on, for now, I'm not going to look at other institutions. I'm looking at SNIT. I'm saying that the president had a brilliant opportunity to say, put a stop to the sale. Let me take a review on how these companies,
going back to the negotiation table
on how these companies were run down. How did we get here? Come and answer
going
to me,
back,
tell me how we got here.
Going back to the negotiation table is what?
I'm not going into the negotiation. I'm saying that
you were expecting the president to say stop.
A brilliant, because you're saying that.
But what is going back to the negotiation table?
We have all established that let us not be hypocritical. Let's face the problem and tackle the problem from the base, as you use the saw as an example. So I am saying,
what is the genesis
somewhere?
What is the genesis?
As a leader that is committed to,
Annie,
what is the
genesis? What is the genesis of this whole discussion? It's because a member of parliament who sits in parliament. What is the role, the main mandate of parliament? Oversight responsibility, right? Everything that goes on, all our laws that pass, most of the things we do, apart from those ones that can be done with executive approval, goes through parliament. A member of parliament decides that I will use the structures available to me. SNIT wants to sell hotels to my colleague. Let me shout about it. And I sat here and said, at least
That's the best.
For the first time,
way you can simplify it.
Now you want to choose my words for me.
Okay, go ahead.
I sat here and I said, at least for the first time in this popularity thing, he has gone to a state institution. Which state institution in this country can Parliament not summon to come and explain whatever they are doing?
What are you saying?
Even,
Say it again.
even,
For the first time he has done what?
I sat here and said, this was right in the seat, that at least he's been responsible to defer to a state institution.
It's not for the first time. It's not for the first time.
Can I continue
No. You have to state the facts rightly before you continue. It's not the first time. Most of the, in fact, all of the allegations have been put out. He refers to state institutions. So you can't say it's the first time.
When he started all these things, the first thing he does is splash documents on his Facebook page, give an alert of an expose. This one, he gave notice of he petitioning Suraj. That is why I said
after he had put out on social media
that he has petitioned Suraj. Yeah, what did he put there? He put his petition, didn't he?
No,
did he put all the documents he's putting now? No, the last time I saw him on your set, his document was from here to there. Did he put all that on Facebook?
That's inconsequential to the discussion.
Exactly. So let me say what is consequential to me. That is where we started. That is how the conversation has gotten to where it is. But if, even after he left it with Suraj, you remember when the issue came up, the SNIT statement. What does SNIT say? SNIT said that, SNIT explained the process they had gone through international competitive bidding and all that, but because the issue has been referred to Suraj, they will hold on, and when they are invited by Suraj, they go in. Then there was conversation from one radio station to the other, one TV station to the other. The MP was having one-on-one conversations. Do you sit and let all that misinformation be going on? SNIT also started explaining.
Okay.
But SNIT, as it sits, apart from its board, has a regulator, which is the NPRA. So the one we have entrusted to do oversight for us, things that the institution that the people of Norton have voted him to make sure that they have oversight responsibility on what our monies are being used for. Things that he has to sidestep that institution that we all have confidence in and go on a whatever spree, I don't know.
Okay.
And that is where the problem is.
Okay. Okay, let me engage Ms. Kwachi. Let me engage you. I mean, when he mentioned NPR, she mentioned it. It reminded me that we had an investment advisor to this deal, and I was wondering, what was the NPRA?
Come again.
Investment advisor was.
Oh, but Annie,
look, I mean, it just clicked.
No, look. Let's. It's just like you introducing me as working with Postal and Courier Services Regulatory Commission, right? We regulate Ghana Post. Ghana Post has its board and everything. For the things that we regulate them for, when they want to do anything outside their normal operational duties, they seek approval from the regulator. So if they want to increase their prices, they want to go into an area that is not necessary there, they seek approval from us based on justification.
Okay.
So if they went to their regulator, we don't know.
We don't know.
If they went to their regulator, regulator saw sense in this, that making the schemes sustainable. You can't make this comment.
I can't make it.
It's because the person supposed to do the oversight decided not to go through all these motions. But let's go on.
Louisa.
Annie, I am still surprised that some people are surprised that President Akufo-Addo directed the labor unions to go back to the negotiation table. You see, every time we have this conversation, I get hurt when we would want to make it look like it's an NDC MPP banter. It is government versus the republic. That is how I see it.
Hey.
Because as a state, we put people in place to supersede things on our behalf. So if the things are not going according to the way we want it to be, it is not the state against opposition. It is the state versus the interest of the public. And who are the public? It's Ghanaians. In this case, who are the direct beneficiaries of the scheme? Aside people who are on pension now, it is every single person who is contributing to the scheme. And you see, when this whole issue started, I paid critical attention to the conversations. Let's go away from the norm. Annie, if I am a private entity, like we would want to put it vis-a-vis public entities, and I have a company, I feel the company is not giving me enough. From what they said, according to the story you read out, the meeting from the boss with the journalist, he made a statement. They were running at a loss for some years. It is just for a period of 1 or 2 that they made some profit. And that is the past year, 2023-2022. So it meant that from the years before 2022-2023, something had been done differently. That is yielding results. So in 2018, they say that they started the whole bidding process in 2018. It went through a tender, it was published and all that, agreed. I went to Rock City's website. Annie, which year did they start operationalization? So if I am an entity and I'm running at a loss, after years of running my company, I have experience and I'm still running at a loss, and a newbie who has little to no experience in the venture, and let's be frank and factual, as a private entity, will you sell your asset to a newbie? Someone, because the tender started in 2018. That is what they make us believe. The publications were in 2018, and the line was somewhere in January 2019. Rock City started operationalization in November 2019. So at the point that Rock City was going to tender for it, if not, let's forget it is Brian Achampon. Let's forget he has even anything to do with the party in power. Let's look at it from the business perspective. Somebody who is in charge of running an entity that is supposed to make ends and pay pensioners. You sell this, you actually put this person in perspective. Somebody who has literally no business idea of whatever hotel management there is. At the time, he was just constructing his business. So if you want to sell 60% shares and you want us to take the entity and the person behind whatever veil of incorporation there is as separate entities, we cannot. Because if it was any ordinary Ghanaian, I don't think they would have agreed. Let's say you went to bid. You don't run any hotels. You are now building. You think they would have sold it to you? No. Because you have no experience in running it. So that conflict of interest and taking Brian as an entity away from Rock City is neither here nor there. Because I feel that the whole process, it was a certain mechanization to favor certain entities. I was surprised when the former chairman said that his son bidded over 150 to 200 million. How much did Brian offer? So if there was actually another person who bidded more than Brian, why give it to Brian?
Because the argument even has been that Brian bidded highest.
So if now the national, and I want to say this on record, he's in court dragging somebody for defamation, then it means that he's a credible source that we can hold credible. 200 million. And we gave it to somebody who paid around 60 something. And I mean, the whole
and
issue,
you know, I appreciate that people want to join in the review. So there was a write-up of Elizabeth that made rounds. And some of these critical questions that have come up No one is responding to those critical questions that have come up.
Okay.
Elizabeth Ohine is not responding to it in her write-up. The Director General himself didn't respond to some of these things. So we're talking about maybe Rock City operation started in 2019, late 2019. This bid ended in early 2019. No one is responding to that. So we want to reconcile all these bits and pieces that are coming up with the at least the information the MP is gathering, so that we put it together and say it is fair or it is not fair. But no one is responding to it. And we want to just brush it aside and go and sit and say, oh, we are renegotiating. What are you renegotiating?
And what I find amusing with the press engagement the boss did was that if we have an issue with the way you have run an entity, and you would want to justify everything to us, I was expecting a certain cost-benefit analysis. Yeah. Okay, so these are the stakeholders. We are having a stakeholder engagement, fellow Ghanaians. This is one approach we sought to, but this approach will cost us this amount. And because of this and that factor, this approach is not viable. So there was this other approach. We did this and that, ABC, blah, blah, blah. So with this one too, this is how it is going to cost us. And this is how much we will benefit from. And with whatever sale we want to do with the 60%, this is it. This is the liability. This is what we will gain out of it. Nobody has given us any cost-benefit analysis. So it is strictly we are selling because we are not making any profit. We are selling because of... And one thing that I find so painful and heartbreaking with the kind of entities we put in place of government agencies is that you are not there just because you belong to a political party. No. You are there by virtue of the fact that they believe you are competent. That is why you are appointed. So if you are appointed, then the only solution you have to give is to sell.
What I was thinking? If anyone will head any institution, run it down and we sell it, then anybody and everybody can head an institution.
Exactly.
Just like we're selling Labadi Beach and the rest and say that they are not making profit. Then if SNIT were to be a business, we'll sell it.
Then because it's not money. Ghana as a state, we are debt insolvent. Ghana as a state, whatever revenues we have after paying our public servants, we are left with zero. And with the other expenditure we have to undertake in our budget, we would have to sort for loans and grants. So should we wake up and say that Ghana as a state is not making it, we are selling it off to another country? Is that the logic? So I believe that with this, whatever cycle we are going through, it starts at this point. Nobody wants to answer, then it goes round and round and round and round and round and round. When we were kids, we said Kwekwanansi story. First story. The first story was that we have actually identified somebody who wants to buy a state property who we deem that there is a conflict of interest. The second story is that we have a whole board managing these things, and the board should come up with solutions rather than wanting to sell. So we end up selling everything, and what was needs to be left with? The third story is that Ghanaians went on the street to demonstrate, to call out the president we voted for, to actually listen to our plight and put a halt on it. Let investigations go further. Give other directive. The fourth story is that this CEO it's new. Was he there in 2019? He wasn't. So if you are new and you have come, I
actually thought it was a brilliant opportunity.
What are the issues on the face of the paper? Bring your experts, because I believe that before they brought him from wherever to come and head this entity, they saw some form of capability. That is why they brought you. So bring whatever new things you want to bring on board and rescue it. Put a halt to it. And you see, when we move on to the fifth story, and this is where I get heartbroken. The fifth story actually is that it seems there is a fixed mindset. So no matter what you do, no matter what you say, whatever we have agreed to do, we will do. So if you are negotiating and they ask you to go back to the negotiating table, it only means two things. It's either you go to maximize your benefits or you go and you minimize your benefits. So the going back to the negotiating table has nothing to do with putting a halt on the wholesale. And painfully, Annie, we are looking at all of these things and thinking the sale is going to give us any form of revenue. But one thing I learned in one of my entrepreneur classes is that you as an entity should aim at getting a consistent flow of revenue. And where will SNIT get that consistent flow? If we take public servants out of it, public and civil servants who get deducted from the source out of it, the private entities, how many Ghanaians are involved in private businesses? They have workers. Do these people pay SNIT? Most people don't pay, and the argument is that last week I engaged a cake vendor, and the cake vendor has a very nice shop, and the person charges as much as 10,000 cedis for one engagement cake, and he has about 4 workers. So as I sat and I wanted to buy a dessert, I asked, do you pay SNIT for these workers that you have also? Oh, madam, you pay and you don't even see what they do with your monies. At the end of the day, I will grow old and you give me 300 Ghana cedis. What will I use 300 Ghana cedis for? So they will not pay. So whatever issues that we are having now, it is away from NDC versus MPP, the state versus opposition, and because it is opposition MP who is bringing up these issues, we should just rubbish it and let this sale go through. It has to do with the trust Ghanaians have in our public systems. So whatever the case is, Annie, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, this is a plea as a citizen and not a spectator. Whatever the case is, put a halt to it. Let's go back to the table, have a cost-benefit analysis, and let's adopt the best approach that will help us than handing over state entities to a company that has no experience in managing hotels. Somebody runs a hotel from in 2019 November, and in January, before even running the hotel, knew that I would be good at it, and then we would have to sell an entity to the person. No, the state capture must stop. And it is not for the benefit or interest of any NDC person. It is for the interest of Ghana. And this fight to stop the sale of SNIT entities, SNIT hotels and whatever properties they have, it is not to put NDC in a certain pedestal. No, that is not the argument. The argument is for Ghanaians to have trust in state entities, for people who are also put in charge of state entities to run it in a way that will be beneficial and not have the mindset that when I run it down and I sell it, nothing happens. So that is the approach we will use in managing state affairs. So moving forward, Annie, whatever there is that President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo wants to do, he should think about the fact that the livelihoods of people who are 60 years and above, who are in his age bracket, depend on whatever revenue SNIT will get.
I mean, we're seeing the suffering of those age brackets even today, due to the DDEP. So obviously we are not a nation that prioritize the interest of the aged. I think we are not. And it's not what I even think. By what I see, obviously we are not. We don't think of what the future looks like. Everything we are grabbing is just today, and that's it. The future doesn't really. I'm wondering, the former SNIT boss, Mr. Tenkran, who was sacked, what did he do? Why was he sacked? Reason to.
Did you appoint him?
A sack. Huh?
Did you appoint him?
Oh, but I pay him.
Yes, you pay him. You are appointed. He was appointed to come and do some work. And he's been, should I say, disappointed.
Yeah. Without any explanation.
We disappoint people in this country and give explanations.
Yes.
The only times I've known that explanations have come up is what people, when people have done things that are untoward.
It's very.
What I know.
It's interesting.
Yes, because what I know.
So we think that the people give you power to lead them. That power in your hands is the power of the people. And you see, you sit there and you say, oh, let's not do things and say things and avoid Kenya. But these things that we do, some of these responses you are giving me, I put power in your hands to appoint Louisa.
He was appointed.
And you tell me why you appoint Louisa. Yes. In fact, when we appoint people, we tell them, we give you, we the media, we do that a lot. Their expertise. Even this gentleman who was appointed at the EC, this gentleman. We educated people about his IT expertise.
Who did that?
Media, every platform.
Good.
When the president appointed them.
When the president appointed, have you seen any of the appointment letters for ministers and all those. Okay, let's even leave ministers.
Appointment letters will not even tell you, but
yes.
you have sat here.
So who did?
You have even sat here and educated me about the expertise of that gentleman who was appointed.
That is what I'm saying.
But so if today I ask you, why was that man sacked? And you tell me, I don't have to explain to you why he was sacked.
The appointment letter have the expertise in it.
Appointment letters don't write expertise.
Exactly. You rightly said that who educated us on it.
But why do you?
Who educated us on it? Who educated us on it? You said the media educated us on it. So you probably
don't run away from what I'm saying. Why do you communicate for the government?
Why do I communicate for the government? I communicate for government to educate on our policies, our achievements. I mean, challenges, because I mean, definitely it's a system we are running. There'll be challenges here and there.
So when
explain
you
the challenges and all.
And I was talking about it as everybody was discussing, and I asked you, what did you tell me?
What did I tell you? It is the context in which you were asking. The last conversation we had here was a picture of him being here somewhere, and I was explaining to you why he was there, because he's a lecturer and a head of department in that area.
You have spoken to me about his expertise.
Yes.
You have.
Yes.
Yes.
Why did that conversation? Why did the conversation come? But I didn't tell you. I didn't tell you why he was appointed, did I? You asked me. You said he was biased, and I said. I remember I even said that if tomorrow, I think I was on the set with Beatrice, and I said if tomorw Beatrice is made Attorney General, of course the expertise will count. But you, how are you supposed to know when you are made producer, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, all the mischief you bring to the position. Could anybody tell that?
Mischief is not part of the criteria.
Exactly. So if you come on the job and you add your own flair to it, which yours is mischief, who is supposed to pick that from when you have been appointed?
And I am sacked.
Come again.
And I'm sacked.
And you are sacked. If you are sacked, you are sacked. Look, they've been
even
people,
when I am sacked.
Listen.
My bosses will explain to me why they have relieved me.
But would they come and explain to me?
If it's a public,
would they come and explain to me?
If it's a public position, yes.
That is why I'm telling you that there have been people who've been relieved of their duties because of certain issues that came out. They've done something untoward or they go contrary to those ones. Even before the people are relieved of their positions or they resign, which is rare. We all know why they are. Yeah, but the appointment letter doesn't really, or even sometimes the letters that come out, if they don't resign and they are sacked, the letters that come out don't easily say it. But when the person does something untoward, but when you are brought in to do something, look, Annie, I always say it.
You know,
a second is a lot of. It's a lot of time. A second is a lot of time in a politician's life.
So if we had a boss or a leader of a company or a manager of a company that had a plan and was carrying out the plan, and we sacked him, right? And then we appoint a new leader that is continuing with the plan. Why did we
continue with that plan? But Annie, let us also have the conversation as if this transaction of selling shares of hotels that SNIT owns is the only thing that SNIT does.
That's what we're discussing.
Don't let us reduce the conversation to that. That's not the only thing that SNIT does.
It's what we're discussing now when it comes to the sale. Someone started something, some work, didn't complete it. He was sacked. Right, and then the next person comes in,
and you know for a fact that
continuing with what
and you know for a fact that you were sacked because of this.
No, I don't.
So how does the sack come into this conversation?
No. Why was he sacked?
So how does the sack come into this conversation? If you tell me that I shouldn't say that is not the only thing SNIT does, how does the sack of the DG come into this conversation if what we are discussing is this transaction?
This is what we're going to say.
I mean, let's get it clear. How do you...
So whatever there is with the sacking that I am envisaging is that if I am working as an appointee and whatever I am doing is going on very well, why should I be changed? So if I am changed, then the idea is that whoever we are bringing on board is going to either continue or do better. It's not to retrogress. So if we bring on new appointments to government entities, The appointing authority should have had it in mind that it's either we are going to continue or make it better and not to retrogress. So whatever sale we see, surprisingly, after this new person was brought in the picture, what I would have done differently if I am sent to a place to work, I know that I'm working for the benefit of Ghanaians. I will take time, look at the books, whatever new measures I have in mind. Oh, let's try this. Let's do that. Why didn't you do it this way? But it seems that even with the introduction of the new boss, the sale is being fast-tracked. I don't know if I'm the only person who have made that observation.
So we're making it
because from 2019, somebody actually completed the tender in 2019 January. We are in 2024. How many years down the line? Why are we having this conversation? When was that person sacked? So it meant that the said boss was dragging his feet on this sale of the hotels. I don't know if the audience are following my argument. Yeah. So the new person comes in, and instead of giving us new solutions to actually keep the problem, whatever sale that was ongoing, that took another person about 4 years, that he had not even had a conclusion on, you are fast-tracking the process within months. And it is months to election.
See,
so
let's get this clear.
The whole thing for me is that
first media encounter.
Let's
this is the first time
let's go into this conversation. You want to go on the tangent of the sack. This new DG we are talking about. How new is this DG? This DG was part of the process. I sit at my commission with my boss, who is the executive secretary. My boss is on the board. Right. She goes for board meetings. Whatever is discussed at the board at the strategic level comes to management meeting for discussions and implementation based on what the board has decided. This DG that we are talking about was what? Was deputy DG, has been part of the process. So where from this conversation?
Okay.
It's not like a new person has been brought somewhere to come in. So if you want us to go, you see,
so we cannot disassociate. Hold on. So we cannot disassociate Kofi from the earlier arrangements and discussions and board meetings.
What crime has really been committed in there?
We have not said he's committed.
What crime has been committed in there that someone has to be disassociated or not disassociated? But if you make a comment like someone has been sacked and the other person is continuing the plan, one, this transaction is not the only thing SNIT does.
Okay.
Right. So, two, institutions run on procedures and
so he was a deputy
decision level,
and he has been part of it.
You get you can't say that he's sitting in. I mean, come on, stop this mischief. Let's say when you have corporate organization, it's the context in which you're saying it. It's the context in which you're saying it, and sometimes you see when we are dealing with some of these national, let's take out the mischief and all those things. What is the problem here? Okay. SNIT wants to sell off 60% of its shares in these hotels. What is the reason? One, to raise capital. Two, to also help avenge the get rid of the risk of.
Mr. Safomafo says the rationale.
Making sure that this scheme is sustainable.
Said the rationale for the investment decision included consistent losses.
What decision?
He didn't say it's to make profit. He said
what decision?
Consistent.
What decision?
The decision to sell, to invest. The decision included.
No, read that again.
The decision
to what
for the investment.
What decision? Investment decision. What's an investment?
And he
to reap benefits of it, right? Benefits for SNIT, for who in the long run? The beneficiary.
And I'm saying that the reasons he has given includes consistent losses, frequent requests, which he has been part of.
Do you agree?
I want to establish which he has been part of. Frequent
and it's a problem
losses,
that has been there.
Frequent requests for maintenance funding, which he's been part of. High capital expenditure, he has been part of, according to your own school of thought. Expenditure and need for strategic partnership. He has been part of these processes throughout.
Honey, when you look at how long have been, did these hotels start running when the team led by Mr. Tinkwa was appointed in 2017? Is that when the hotel started running?
No.
So why do you limit it to just that team? It's a problem, and you agree with me that it's a problem
because
with the system when it comes to public.
2018.
You related to the bit about the health sector. You related to the bit about the other sectors, right? Let's even look at our private, our transport system.
Okay,
all these things come. So let's have that conversation and stop the little throwing out personal things and all those things.
Personal
right?
With who?
Mischief and those things. Look, let's have a conversation. When I asked you that the president asking Labour to go back to the negotiation table, when Louisa was there, she came back to the same thing. It had halted the process so that you renegotiate and come out to the person. That doesn't mean that the negotiation will necessarily. That doesn't mean that the negotiation. Listen, that doesn't mean that the negotiation. They are still selling. That doesn't mean that the negotiation will necessarily come out with the fact that we are selling. Okay, the negotiation can truncate the process.
Annie, I've been trying to get this nagging question answered, but I am not getting any joy from anywhere. My question is, has the president explained why Ghanaians should have an ambassador at large with 6 months of this administration to go? Can you ask for me? Thanks for Mansa Musa. Okay, Mansa, I'll do the checks for you. This one says that council proposed sale of stake in hotels, organized labor. Now, this is where I also will tilt a bit according to Kofi Mafo or Kofi Osafo Mafo, where he says that SNIT is an agreement with unions, which is not exactly the fact, because Labour obviously digresses from this position. They don't agree to the sale, and they have said it many times on platforms. I don't see why he repeat that. However, that's the argument, and that's why I'm saying that a lot of people are not answering and the questions on the analysis they all want to be a part of. And he let the NPP continue to be praising themselves. 7 December is around the corner with the Boboli Bobo. Okay. And Lara too has no answer to your question. So just ignore and move on. This is from Alhaji Haruna Ashaiman, saying that in Ambassador Sampiali says that, Annie, what's the problem with some Ghanaians at all? What is this about? Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa went about exposing the rot in SNIT or what? Sister Lara, to please be reminded that the assets SNIT sought to dispose of does not belong to SNIT nor government. So does it matter if the institution like SNIT to sell off the assets are the pillars for the sustainability of workers' future pension? Since when did the NPP become the spokesperson for SNIT, which has the large PR department in Ghana with the most competent PR practitioners? Is a question. But also, good morning, Annie. The sale of SNIT hotels were happening under the NDC regime. Organized labor, market, factories and shops within the country would go on strike. They would say that what they contribute to make the state better is being managed by the NDC government and is being sold for the benefit of the minister. By doing so, they would go on strike, make the NDC government unpopular. We can't do so now is a question. It's because they are affiliated with the government. What they are doing, I see it as state managed. Carlos from Odododio sent that in. And that is because of the nature of the constitution we have. Everything is political. It's appointed by political leadership. And so when you say, let's not make it politics, you are being very unrealistic, because the appointing positions and appointing authorities are political positions. I don't know how you can digress or take it away from politics. You can't, no matter how nationalistic you want to look at it anyway. So this one says that, good morning, Annie. I think directive by the National Pensions Regulatory Authority, SNIT, to suspend the sale of the sales should be enough for all entities seize every activity on the matter. If Osafo Mafo recognizes that holding stakeholder engagement to create awareness is important in the scheme of things, why didn't they do that right from the beginning? The opaqueness with which they handle this issue and the vigor with which they are defending the interests of Rock City and Brian Achampon leaves much to be desired, and we should not continue to waste public money in the name of stakeholder engagement. You didn't add your name to it. But let me just pause here. Messages a lot, but pardon me. Just 1 minute, 2 minutes each on Kenya. most of our leaders, I've seen Palgrave, who is in charge of spokesperson for governance and security.
Congratulations to him.
What did he win?
He graduated over the weekend with a doctorate in leadership.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Oh, congratulations. Palgrave, Dr. Palgrave, Oh, congrats. Congrats to you. He says
that a doctorate in business leadership.
Oh, that's nice. Wow.
From a Noble International Business School.
Very interesting. We have to give him a one-on-one on this one. So he is saying that he is spokesperson for security and administration, and he has advised Ghana not to emulate the bloody youth demonstration in Kenya that claimed many lives. According to Dr. Palgrave Boachidamkwa, the youth in Kenya could use a democratic way of registering their displeasure about the government. Is that not what the youth in Ghana is doing? Using the democratic way? And who made it bloody to start with?
The security services will start shooting and the citizens are supposed to be quiet and run. And you see the Kenya issues, and I've been surprised at how we seem to want to put a certain idea in the minds of the ordinary Ghanaian. Do not demonstrate, do not do this, do not do that. But we are forgetting that whatever indicators that are in Kenya, that they are on the streets demonstrating, we have passed that line. Even to the extent that they were complaining about new taxes on bread, but we are having our menstruations taxed in this country. And we are not even on the street.
That's very sensitive.
That is it.
Yeah.
As a woman, I'm very passionate about these things. And some months ago, some stories from mining community says that young girls are getting pregnant at JSS. The reason being that they cannot afford 20 Ghana cedis pad. And the people who they go to would want to have something to do with them before they give. Our menstruations are being taxed in this country. Sanitation levy, E-levy, birth levy, COVID-19 levy, emission levy. How many taxes have we not introduced from 2021 to 2023? Aside the introduction of new ones, even the existing ones, some have seen a rise in the quota we are actually taking. That notwithstanding, the ordinary Ghanaian in the minds of the NPP and the ruling government is that they are quiet because Ghanaians are timid. And Ghanaians are not timid. But what is the stark reality is that behind that quietness of Ghanaians is the people who are desperate for economic freedom. So at the end of the day, we go on the streets to demonstrate. They spray us hot water. They give us tear gas. They give us pepper spray. If you are the ordinary Ghanaian, you will lose hope. So the first point of call is hopelessness. The ordinary Ghanaian has lost every sense of hope in this country called Ghana. You go to Kotoka Airport in the evenings and the place is packed. Delta Airline is always full. All other airlines leaving the shores of Ghana, they are always fully booked. You go there and it's as if that place is Makola annexed in the evenings. The ordinary Ghanaian is not timid. The second point of call is that when you demonstrate and talk and talk and talk and nothing is being done, will you not eat? So they are economically fatigued.
Right.
At the end of the day, I'm not employed. I don't have money to eat. So on an empty stomach, I should go on the street and talk.
Right.
They don't even have the strength because these governments have made the ordinary Ghanaian economically fatigued.
Right.
So moving forward, if the MPP think that Ghanaians are timid, we will not use the violent approach because we are already in the abyss. We will not fall or sink deeper.
Kenyan youth didn't use the violent approach.
According to Palgrave, he says that we shouldn't use the violent approach. So I am telling him as a Ghanaian youth that we will not use the violent approach.
Right.
But we will continue to register our displeasure. But what it is that they should mark it.
Right.
That behind our calmness, on 7th December, we will vote for accountability. On 7th December, we will vote as a woman for my menstruation that is being taxed. On 7th December, I will vote for the case who stay home for 3 months without access to a teacher. On 7th December, we will vote for the second freedom of Ghana.
All right.
Annie, talking about parts, I mean, this was a conversation we've had over the years. And if you remember, I don't know if Louisa is not aware, locally produced parts are tax-free. This was in the 2024 budget, so let's have that in perspective. I mean, The call by my brother, I think, is not far-fetched. I mean, we've seen demonstrations in this country that people have lost their eyes and subsequently died. You remember the Let My Vote Count this demonstration. But you see, the call for us to be citizens.
Let my vote count.
Yes.
If people die?
A guy lost his eye. People were whipped with horse tails and all that.
Nobody died from Let
yes.
My Vote Count.
The guy subsequently died. Nobody encourages violence. Violence has never solved the problem. Violence can never solve any problem. You talk, you express your interest. And for a president that has called citizens to be citizens, not spectators, I think that if my memory serves me right, most of the demonstrations within this regime have been generally peaceful. There have been disagreements back and forth, court orders from police taking stop orders and other things together, but they've been generally peaceful. Looking at what happened in Kenya, what did they start with? They started with social media and all those things, registering their protest. They got a lot of support from some MPs in Parliament who were in support of them. I remember listening to one who even said it was wrong for them to even tax digital content and all that. All those issues, it still comes back to people who are entrusted to work, engaging, identifying their stakeholders properly and engaging them. Continuous engagement is one of these things, one of the things that can solve these things. People have become self-aware. People have become because of availability of news. And also,
do you remember
the
condition for e-levy?
Condition for what?
If we pass e-levy, we won't go to IMF.
Come again. But was e-levy successful? It wasn't.
Now we've gone to IMF, we still have e-levy.
E-levy wasn't successful. Was it?
So why not scrape it?
Was it successful? But where we are now, Annie, look.
The e-levy that we cut the cake for.
You who cut the cake for e-levy?
You didn't see the e-levy cake?
Did you see any, when it was passed in Parliament after all that happened?
You didn't see
Did you see anybody cutting cake?
You didn't see the cake?
Did you see anybody cutting cake for e-levy?
Yes. Hey. There was a whole party.
Who had a party for e-levy? There was a birthday party. And someone presented a cake to the majority leader.
An e-levy cake.
E-levy. Was it a celebration of e-levy by all of us?
The cake.
Is that how you put it? That someone is having his birthday as majority leader, someone presents him a cake.
So
they
if he
cut
was,
it, and it's a celebration of all of us of e-levy.
If the majority leader,
give me time. Let's discuss this.
If the majority leader was unhappy about the cake, knowing that Annie here, I'm going to pay this kind of taxes, and someone brought me a cake of this nature, I won't even bring it out to public, because this is ridicule for the poor taxpayer.
Yes, for the poor taxpayer, but don't say that we cut a cake and they celebrated e-levy.
But that's what happened.
Was I there?
Were you not supposed to be there?
Did we celebrate it? It was the majority leader's birthday. Someone gave him a cake. Don't just come out and say that we celebrated e-levy. Okay. But let's talk about e-levy.
My time is up.
No, your time can be up. You raised it. Let's finish it. You raised e-levy. Right. When was e-levy? What was the main source of revenue for us in that particular budget? It was e-levy. When was it passed? 6 months down the line, when we had implemented that budget. What did we make? We projected some 5-point-something billion. How much did we make? We made some 400 million. Obviously. I agree with you in principle that if we said that, and now we've gone to IMF, we should do away with it. But don't also forget that due to that delay and all that, and all the challenges we had, we also need to be careful of the revenue streams we're getting rid of.
Okay.
Just recently, I even read a report from ISE on how, and they even recommended that don't scrap it, just reduce the thing. And in principle, most of the members of parliament were not against the e-levy. It was the percentage that they were against.
Okay.
So if you say that because you've said that and all that, I mean, in principle, that is something that must be, but you also need to look at your revenue. All the challenges we are having, you look at your revenue, but gradually, We are getting there. It's not as smooth as but to move from a 54% inflation to 20-something, there's progress being made. It's not what we desire.
Louisa is enjoying
it's not what we desire. But no, let's be realistic. Look, yesterday I bought fuel. I felt it.
Oh wow!
Right, we all feel it. You get it. The challenges, but the commitment to making it better is what should give us hope. And not go for an alternative that has no hope for you, that can tell you what they would have done differently, that cannot tell you what they are bringing on board. The moment you ask them to explain any of their policies, all they hurl at you as insults. But in Dr. Bawumia, we have a leader who is focused and ready to continue, especially the industrialization drive, which will help us tone down some of these things, because we being import driven.
Let me take a break.
It's one of the problems that is costing us.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I have trends coming up shortly. Thanks for watching. We'll be back shortly.
Ama, nansi mi general well-being enko ye krao. Ama ma ye bohu se kontomra akija.
Nansi me hu se me nyo basi makura. Ama me kunu me into kwankwa. Oh, you right. Enye mo ko. Give us GC mixture and the capsules. Aye num boom. Enho asem na mo kana. Ebua emma ene meme nyina. Ne ma wo ba ye obesima. Na be ma so aye bemasima. Ya, we be bua wuku. Ama ne giant sa wo de hye ne botum. Na wanyinya nanim ti sese ne oyi chokmo na. Give us GC mixture and a capsule. Achesa.
A painful a batter, one more menu for an inquiry when if you do me.
In today's modern world, stairs are a challenge, especially for our elderly and those with health concerns. Navigating them can be difficult and even dangerous, but there's a safer way to move vertically. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, your answer to a more accessible and secure vertical transportation. Our elevators and escalators, including top-of-the-line pneumatic vacuum elevators, Fuji elevators and escalators, offer a safer and more convenient alternative, eliminating the risks of stairs and enhancing accessibility for homes, businesses, and hospitals. Choose safety and convenience with Lifts and Elevators Limited Company. Elevate your spaces today. For more information, visit our website at www.elevatorsgh.org or call now on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators Limited Company, the elevator people.
All right, you're welcome back. It's Good Morning Ghana. And let me just, before I forget, Joshua Tete is one of my bosom brothers in this house. Today is his birthday. So Joshua, happy birthday to you. I wish you all the best. And I hope that whatever future endeavors you have will be very successful. And on that note, I'll introduce Harry, who is here. Oh, okay, that's Joshua. Yeah, if you want best pictures, please call me. I'll connect you to this brother of mine. Amazing gentleman, fun to work with, very free in spirit. Charlie on charge baby, you know. So yeah. So that's Joshua there for you. Happy birthday to you, my dear. And I wish you all the best. All right. So Harry, you're welcome.
Thank you
Good
very
morning
much.
to you.
It's now time for trends. And let's start with Good Morning Ghana. Anytime Laratu is here, it's like Facebook goes, haywire, because everyone is just calling her out. But
They like her.
They love her. So Ibrahim Abdul Karim Jabbar says, it's hurtful to see Laratu disgracing herself. It's disgraceful to Ghanaians and to all women from the north. She always comes here with a transcript from Gabi and some clueless NPP paymasters. Okay. Everything is leadership. The effect is on the people. Felix Yeboah Ohimin is saying so. Louisa is just waiting to deflate Laratu's bubble. Patrick Kubesika says so. And you put people in places who are incompetent. They run these institutions down. Then you buy it. This is simply appropriation of state properties by private people. This whole thing looks like a deliberate stealing through covert means. Lawson, KT David. Okay. Felix Yeboah Ohimen is saying that why do we vote leaders to office then if they have to complain to us, the citizenry, in responsible government? What did she just say? If roads are bad in your neighborhood, buy 4x4 vehicles. Lou Cosina is asking. Okay. And if government's facility is not working as it should, blame the government. Kofi Paul is also saying so. So away from, okay, the reason is that in government facilities, the bureaucracies are too much. Funds are delayed. Vanya Jr. saying so. Okay. And away from that, it's a new month, so everyone was just happy new month. I picked a few interesting happy new month conversation. So let's take a look at it. So this new month you know go jam clients where go stress you. You go see money, saute red jacket go find you. Happy new month, blood, and joy is coming. Okay, so happy new month, happy new week, happy Monday. Go out there, be your best self, and don't forget to fight your demons using the Napusula violence style. Okay, Chris Atadika is saying so. Okay, and then this one says, it all depends on how you see yourself. Happy new month. So in this month, it all depends on how you see yourself. Lillian is saying so. And in this month of July and beyond, we are going to win regardless of all our challenges. Happy new month. Away from that, Sammy Jemfi is trending. And he's trending because he took his wife on a vacation in Miami. And people are not happy with that. And according to sources, his wife posted on Snap, and some people took it up and then posted it on X, and he's still trending. So let's take a look at some of the comments. So good morning. I'm here to tell you Sammy Jemfi is a gem and will keep pressing the NPP gang. Okay, Barry saying so. And Sammy Jemfi's disciplinary prowess has been their nightmare since Kojo Dynamic and Anan Perry. So Sammy Jemfi has purchased a $2 million mansion in Airport Hills and is living luxuriously even while in opposition. What do Ghanaians think of this kind of person, and what will you do with taxpayers' money if he gains access to government resources? Eric Fifianan. And he makes the president uncomfortable to the extent that they pay people to attack him with his private life. Sammy Jemfi is whoever you think he is. He's him. Very fancy boy. Now, in this video, Sammy Jemfi was at Queen Beach, Miami, one of the most expensive restaurants in Miami. According to a travel guide website, one person is expected to spend over $3,000 on food and drinks. That's over $6,000 for Sammy Jemfi and his wife. Hey, people are calculating. People are really, really good. So the videos are there. Because of time, I cannot play it for you. But when you go to X, you see a lot of people were even shading Bridget O2, Anan Perry, all the NDC communicators.
Bridget O2?
Yes.
Why is she an NDC communicator?
They assume she's an NDC communicator. So they put her and Anan Perry and others in NDC communicators, saying that NDC communicators cannot do anything for themselves. But here's Sammy Jemfi going out there and splurging on his wife. But that's it for trends. But before I go, there's your critical dance. So that's mono critical dance.
So before we go to this You know the APC flag bearer?
Yes.
Mr. Hassan Ayariga.
Yes.
He says, good morning, Annie. Please tell your panelists we're enjoying the conversation, but they shouldn't be rude to each other. Let's be mindful of our words. Thank you.
Oh, such
it's
a peaceful
so nice.
man.
Thank you.
Such a peaceful. So yes, Desi, you all know Desi. Desmond Okreko. So that's
the star boy.
Yes, Metro TV star boy. Now he's a man because he has joined the table of men. And on Saturday, he married his beautiful, long-time girlfriend. And yes, that is the procession over there. Metro TV men, excited. Beautiful. So to the forever dancers.
Yeah, it was a fantastic occasion.
Annie was there.
It was so nice. Actually, I think we had fun. Like it was very. It's like you are in a house with your parents. Your parents go out and you decide to party in the house.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, then it was so much
That's
fun.
what happened. Yeah.
Wow.
So some few elderly people who were around. They all left us. We just left all alone.
Let me allow the Gen Zs.
It was fun. So congratulations to the forever dancers. Yeah. I mean, like the good book says, in his time he makes things beautiful. Yeah. And it was so beautiful. It was so nicely done. Yeah. So since the trans people are getting married, right?
Yeah.
Very soon the second one will come off.
Amen. Oh, I receive it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Are you not in charge of trends?
Yes, amen. I receive it. Hey, thank God.
Lady, faith is little.
Oh.
Anyway, so yeah, Helga, I've seen your message. Thank you so much for the message. But that's what time will allow us now. And congratulations to Starboy.
Starman.
Nowadays,
Starman.
Starman, right? Yeah, he has joined the table of men. Right,
yeah.
Right. So your congratulations and wish you all the best in this journey that you're embarking on. And that's what time will allow us here on Good Morning Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you
for coming through. We're back tomorrow with Good Morning Ghana. Thanks for watching. Hey, birthday boy.